I watched him die. And 3 days later, I saw him walk. Hey, he gave me this. On the worst day of my life, a stranger who knew me better than I knew myself, and I still don't know what he whispered in my ear that first morning.
The Gospels say he did so many things that the whole world could not hold the books. Thousands followed him. 500 saw him again, and of almost none of them do we know the name. I was one of those, an ordinary man, no name, no story. This was never written, but it could have happened, and it could have happened to you. This is 40 Days, the story of a man who lost everything and ended up seeing what no one would believe. Chapter 1. The Stranger. Galilee, in northern Israel. I live in a village of 300 souls, where everyone knows everyone, and no one is ever alone. Until that day, I walked to the door of my house, but I did not go in. No one was waiting for me anymore. I had laid my wife and my son in the tomb that morning, wrapped in linen. In this century, sometimes, childbirth ends this way. I purified myself. I shaved. I tore my clothes. I sat on the ground barefoot without perfume. 7 days of mourning, the custom commands. Then 30 more, far from everyone. But how do you keep 7 days when what you buried was everything you had? The strangest thing about grief is that it makes you hungry all the same. The body does not understand tragedy. It keeps asking, keeps beating, even when you want to stay still with the dead. I watched the village from my doorway, and I did not understand it. How did they go on? How could a woman pick out olives as if the world had not broken? How could a man haggle over the price of bread on the very day I was burying my own? That was what was unbearable. Not death, but that life went on without asking permission. Where were my dreams? The dream of watching my son grow, of growing old at her side. Buried too that morning, in the same linen. And I caught myself thinking something that frightened me more than death. The man who loved that woman no longer existed. He died with her that morning. The one breathing in his place was someone else, a stranger, dark, made of absence. So then, who was the one suffering? And whom did that other man miss if he had never known them? A man's laughter, full, without guilt. It shook me out of my pit. I rose with my fists clenched. I felt a violence I did not know in myself, as brutal and as sudden as death. I went to pick a fight with that irreverent man. He was not a boy. He was a young man, my age, perhaps. One more among laborers and fishermen. No one yet knew who he was. Just a stranger, come from Nazareth. He stepped away from the group and walked toward me. He walked as I had never seen anyone walk. The earth did not oppose him. The mud did not stain him. The wind did not push him. Everything seemed to make way for him, as if it were part of him. He did not look down. He already knew every stone, master of his steps. without hesitation. He looked at me, in the eyes. His friends fell silent. My fury was plain, and the closer he came, the more the anger slipped from my hands. In him there was no fear, no judgment, no tension. He had the gaze of an old man, 1,000 years old, and at the same time, that of a child seeing the world for the first time. I knew there would be no fight. Not anymore. He smiled at me, as if he had always known me. He leaned close to my ear and said 2 words. 2 words that took me a lifetime to understand, and that I still will not repeat. He went back to his own and left. I watched him go. He went lightly, almost skipping, happy, like a child coming back from the river. I stood watching him a long while. I did not see the others, only that stranger, who seemed to carry something of mine away. Then evening came, and with it, once more, the solitude. I had always fled from it. Now it left me cold, without air. I cursed God. I hated him with all my soul. Where were you when they died? What good is tradition if you did not protect me? My first night of hatred and of pain. That night, I heard my name. It was my old teacher, my friend. He came to me. He gave me no pious words. He explained nothing. He sat down beside me, put his arm around my shoulder, and wept with me until I fell asleep. He did not know what to do with his hands. No man does in moments like that. But he stayed. And sometimes, staying is the only thing a friend can do. That is how I understood I was alone. And I decided something: to make myself a slave to my pain. I believed that was how I honored my dead. I did not know that the stranger had already left 2 words inside me, like a seed. Nor did I know that very soon he would give me something that would change my life forever. If you want to know what he whispered and what he gave me beside a well, follow this story. Chapter 2: The Stone.